Want to know how to turn website visitors into customers? You need a website if you're going to grow your business. That is what all the coaches say, but we also know that business coaches talk a lot of So what the do I think about this? Let's find out.
Who I got here?
Hey, I'm Amy Walker. Welcome back to the channel. I help small business owners and entrepreneurs just like you be able to create consistent, predictable sales through organic marketing and scalable sales strategies. And on this particular playlist, we like to debunk bad business advice. And I'm gonna be honest, just get a website is actually really bad business advice, and it's kind of out of date.
Way to go, man.
There are a lot of easier, faster ways to get yourself online, and a website is actually a terrible tool for conversion. So I don't mind business owners having websites. Most of my clients have websites. If not in the very beginning, they're definitely going to end up getting them. But what I really want to focus in on this video is understanding what your website does and does not do for you, so that you can have realistic expectations and an actual plan that works in order to bring clients into signing up.
Perfect. You guys work together on this one.
So here's what we're gonna do in this video. I'm gonna actually talk you through the marketing funnel, like the phases that a different lead goes through in your sales process. And then I'm gonna show you how you can utilize your website to help people move forward. I am also going to tell you what pieces of the puzzle need to happen outside of your website. And when we get done, you're gonna be really clear on what you need to adjust on your website in order to make sure that it is actually working for conversion. So a website by itself is like a really expensive business card. And if you never pass your business card out and they just sit in like a shoebox on your desk drawer, then that business card is a tool that's not going to work for you. And your website is going to be the same way. So if you're looking at how do I turn website visitors into customers, the very first thing you have to ask yourself is, do I actually have website visitors, or is my problem traffic to the website? If you do not have website visitors, because traffic to a website is actually very, very low unless you're using a specific strategy to draw them to the website. And websites are actually pretty poor for converting and gathering leads. So most people are driving their traffic somewhere else before the website. Again, I'm not anti-websites. I have a website. I like it. You're welcome to go check it out. I just want you to understand how and when to use it in the full funnel position. So let's jump into that.
Appreciate it.
All right, in the marketing funnel, you're gonna have different phases. The first one is awareness. This is when people are just barely learning about you. Then you're going to have interest. Now they just barely heard about you. Now they're kind of intrigued. They're kind of checking you out. They're kind of interested. Next, we're gonna have consideration. This is where they're starting to be like, I've been following Amy for a while. Like, maybe I should join her group. Maybe I should download her Sales and Marketing GPS. It sounds kind of good. Then we're gonna move into intent. Intent is where they start to actually be ready to do something about it. You know, I've been learning about business a lot online. I really wanna improve my business. Maybe I should really take the next step and look at doing something about it. Then you have evaluation. This is where people are actually evaluating the specific programs, products, services that you offer and getting ready to make a decision. Then you have the purchase. This is the part that we all love, but we don't get there by magic. We have to really take people through this whole process. So how does your website actually help you with all of these different phases? Let's go through one at a time. So the first is going to be awareness. A lot of small business owners don't use their website for awareness, and that's totally fine if you decide not to. But if you are going to have to be paying for traffic to go there. That's gonna happen through paying a company to do SEO for you. And by the way, let me just get this out of my mind right now, because it drives me crazy when people say, oh yeah, we do your SEO when we build your website. That is not SEO. That is them going through your website and making sure it has the keywords in order to work for SEO. But SEO is somebody every single month that is working on your website to get it higher and higher in the rankings. You're gonna need to have blog posts. You're going to need to have regular ongoing work, and you should be seeing results of you getting higher and higher rated on Google. If you work in an industry that there's not a lot of search volume behind it, you could do it on your own. So you don't need to pay someone else to do it. Like for example, I had a client years ago who they taught foot zoning and reflexology, and they paid a company, this one still hurts my heart, like $3,000 a month for 1 year and never got a single client from it. Why? Because nobody's out there searching for foot zoning and reflexology schools. And when they were, like, there were so few people doing it at the time that they were already going to show up and they were already going to rank for it. So it was just a colossal waste of time. So make sure that if you're going to pay for the SEO, because it is pricey, that you have a real strategy in place for how you're going to use that. Second thing that you can do is you can do ads where you can run like Google pay-per-click ads. That is great for getting traffic to your website. It's usually less expensive than SEO is. And the third thing that you can do is organic. However, once you get into organic traffic, most people will not take them to their main website. They will take them to a landing page. The reason they go to a landing page, which is, by the way, if you haven't heard that term, it's a one-page site that just gives them one thing to opt into, and the purpose is to collect a name and email and a phone number or to convert on a low ticket sale. The reason they do that is because the website is actually very distracting for purchases. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But when you're doing organic traffic, you really want to get the most out of every single lead. So most people don't drive traffic to their website, they drive it to a landing page.
Why?
Now we have interest in lead nurture. So let's assume that we did what most of us are doing these days and we got our traffic to go to a landing page and now they're on our email list. Lead nurture, things that you can do during this time, you can write articles, give tips, release videos. A lot of lead nurture is actually happening on other platforms right now. A lot of times it's happening through your email marketing, or it's happening in your Facebook group, or it's happening on your YouTube channel. And people are continuing to watch you and engage with you on other platforms. If you want your website to work for lead nurture, you actually have to be driving people to your website. Like creating a blog post and then talking about your blog post and referring them back to the website where the blog post lives. So you have to have a proactive strategy of getting people to go to the website, go to the website, go to the website.
Because I think they can help us.
Now, you're probably thinking, but couldn't I just continue to have the conversations with them on YouTube? Yes, you could. And it works. And there's a lot of people that are doing that way where they're not utilizing their website until later in the sales process. But hey, you asked, how do I get my website to convert more customers? So I'm telling you. If these tips are helpful and you want to make sure you're getting more of them, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release new content. So the next phase is the consideration phase. This is where they are going to really start going to your website. I feel like consideration and intent are the two places where this is the whole reason why we have a website. So when somebody is starting to get interested in you, this is where they want to go seek you out on your website. And so they're gonna go and they're gonna look and they're gonna learn more about you. We wanna have things in here like testimonials, case studies, our core values, because they wanna know, are you the type of person that they wanna do business with? We wanna have reviews. We want to have product descriptions where they can actually go and start to dig in a little bit more. And this isn't them being ready to purchase. This is them like hopping around on the website. This is why websites are actually pretty bad for conversion, because they're distracting. Because it's like, oh, I want to go check out Amy's values. Okay, let me read about that. And then let me look at the blog. Oh my gosh, there's so many articles on the blog. I wonder about this and this and this. And then, well, maybe I should look at what the programs are. And so they hop around too much. And that's why they're not great for conversion. But they are really good for intent and they are really good for evaluation. So during those two phases, that is where the website shines. Make sure that you have these things on there. Make sure that you have your reviews on there, your testimonials, your case studies, all that stuff. This is the moment we have all been waiting for, because this is when they're actually gonna go and pop around and all that money you spent on your website and all that time becomes worth it.
Lucky yes.
The last phase is the purchase phase. Some of you do that off of your website. I personally do it off of my website. When people buy from us, we want to have an interaction with them. So that's going to happen in one of three places. One, it's going to be during a webinar. 2, it's going to be during an event, or 3, it's going to be through a one-on-one sales conversation. So they're not purchasing from my website. You cannot go and sign up for my coaching programs on my website because I don't know if I want to work with you yet. I don't know if I can actually help you yet. We have to make sure that we're a good fit before we say, yes, let's do the next step. But if you are having people purchase through your website, I want you to really tune up that sales process. So one of my clients is Entry Envy, and they do custom signs, front door signs, so that your front porch looks inviting and it's easy to decorate your front porch every month or every season. So when they first got started working on their sales portal, that took a lot of work and actually quite a bit of time to launch it, so that the design experience was enjoyable, that it was accurate, that it was a smooth experience. So instead of it feeling clunky and hard to purchase, because if it feels clunky and hard to purchase, people will not purchase from you. They'll go like, oh, this is too hard, I'll go find it somewhere else.
Yeah, neither did I.
You want them to enjoy that interface. So if they are purchasing from your site, pay attention, ask for other people to give you feedback. Is it easy? Is it hard? Do they like it? Do they not? So we do specialize in helping people to be able to create consistent lead flow and consistent conversion. And if you want more support in that area, I invite you to download our Sales and Marketing GPS. It is a phenomenal tool to help assess where you're at and identify the areas that you have potential for improvement. And we do send you a customized 8-page improvement plan. So now we've talked all about how to turn website visitors into customers. The next video that I want you to go check out is how to have consistent 10K months. I can't wait to see you over there.